Let's start. Let's see what happened in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, for now, everything is fine. Only you have, in addition to coming back, you have also option of going to d5.
Okay, but that knight can capture, no?
And your knight will jump into the center.
Yeah.
Or you don't
Then
want to lose your bishop.
and of course I can capture with that pawn, but
Not pawn, with knight.
not with that e4. Huh?
No, why? This knight in the center is more dangerous than on c3. And if you
Okay, I should have
capture with
moved
your
my
pawn,
bishop there.
you are doubling up your pawn. Now if this knight captures, you
Okay.
capture with your knight.
Your knight. Okay.
Your knight is in the center, very strong, and these three pawns are connected.
Connected. Yeah.
Now if you
Okay,
capture
next
with your
time.
pawn, it looks ugly.
Okay. Hmm. And it gets standard like there.
And this knight should be on d5, then on c3.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't capture, then you are pinning this knight because of the rook.
Yes.
Because then you may even putting pressure on this e5 pawn, because even you can first sacrifice your knight. When this knight captures, you have rook captures.
This was better. Like I could have done this.
So this
I had
improvement
a
you can do.
slight idea about this, but this was quite early in the game, no? Like only, I
So
think,
what?
it was 10 moves, less than 10 moves. So I thought, let me keep my pieces safe.
No, there also it's safe.
What I should have done, I should have brought my bishop there. If he captures, okay. Otherwise, the knight captures this. E5, knight captures E5, and then yeah, okay. Mm. Run, run, run. Now also I could have gone to the center. No?
Yeah, but
The
now
knight.
this knight came, so this a3 is good move. And now he sacrificed his knight. So now in this position, it is white who should win, because you already captured one knight extra.
Okay.
So right now this rook is undefended. You should directly go for this bishop d5.
Okay.
And if this knight captures, no problem. Your knight will jump into the center.
Center. All the more better.
Yes.
Okay.
And he will not have knight on f6, so you will have this knight unopposed.
Hmm. What about the castling part?
Right now, there is no need. So many things are happening in the center. First, we need to take care of that.
Tackle all this. Okay.
And especially when you have a undefended piece, you should always go and attack that.
Hmm. Okay.
And whenever your piece is under attack, don't bring them back. Let them go into the center. Knight on e2 is passive. Knight on d5 is dangerous.
Hmm.
Now, if you go d5, this is very strong.
Hmm.
And if you don't want this knight to stay, he has to capture this.
Yeah.
Then your
Capture with the
bishop will go
bishop.
into the center.
All the more better. Okay.
Yes. Now he has to move his rook.
Okay.
Now you have three pieces already in the attack.
Okay.
Don't try to save your piece unnecessarily.
He's blocking all the pawn moves. No, with all the pawns have come out. See,
So those are
blocking,
not at all good moves. He is not developing his piece.
not allowing me to move forward. Sort. No.
No, he is allowing you to move forward. He is allowing you this knight d5.
Hmm. Okay.
You
Okay.
should have punished this opponent very brutally.
Okay. Hmm.
So now this knight came back. Means this small pawn threaten your knight and you have to run back. Why you have to run back? Go into the center, challenge the central pieces.
Hmm.
And now this knight cannot go anywhere.
Yes.
Knight does not have any move. If you get a chance to place your
Hmm.
pieces in the center, always go for that. So this calculation you need to do that when you go into the center, if your piece is captured, which other piece can go and occupy the center again.
Okay.
Don't go away from the center. So this is very important, and it is saying that the player control the center, that player controls the game.
Okay.
So never leave the center.
Hmm.
So now you should have played with these two knights, this bishop. You are playing with your queen.
Yeah, I shouldn't have moved my queen so fast in the game.
So that is why
Hmm.
in the opening, if these pieces, minor pieces, are in the center, they will help you to attack in the opening, not queen.
Yeah. Hmm.
Because your queen may get under attack, and then you may also lose your queen.
Yeah, I didn't have anywhere to go, so I captured the queen.
So that is why your minor pieces should be made use, and then the queen comes late.
Okay.
Now see the position of this knight, just out of the game.
Yeah.
See the position of this knight cannot go anywhere.
Yes.
See the position of this bishop cannot go anywhere.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
that is why if suppose this knight is there, this bishop
Hmm.
may become FT after some time, but these two knights are very bad.
Hmm.
Knights belong to the center because from center first they are slow. They will take many moves to reach in any side. So if they are already in one corner, they will take so many moves to reach to the other corner. But if knights are in the center, then they will take less move to reach on any side.
Yes.
So always try to place your knight either near the king or in the center. Only these two
Oh,
places. No.
okay. And not to move the queen so early in the game.
Yes.
Hmm.
You now that also you can do
Now I thought about that
this
rook
move.
h.
Yeah.
No, no, my bishop to d5.
You played bishop c4.
I played c. I moved. Oh. Mhm.
So now after this you can even there is no need to play this. You can simply bring your other rook on this file.
Okay.
Because when this bishop captures, you can capture with this rook, and then this file will become open for your rook. Let's see what
Okay.
happens.
Mhm.
What about
I
this?
forgot this night. Yeah, yeah, Dimak. This I moved this and then I saw, oh my God, my night gone.
No, how you will say later? He played this move, right?
Yeah, I should
Then you
have
should have
saved
seen
my night.
immediately.
Yes, I could have come to H2.
Yeah, you go into the corner and do suicide there. This knight was in the
No, I'll be
center.
attacked.
No, this pawn is nicely defended by the knight, and then he will play this pawn also. No can threaten these two knights.
So, so
Like
where
for
else to
example,
go?
like
Hmm.
now if you play knight h2, he will play this h5. This knight is never entering into the key. Like this knight doing nothing on h2. But this
Okay.
principle you remember, knights belong to the center. That's all.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
don't belong to the corner. Bishop can stay into the corner because they are long range attackers. They can attack long range.
Yes.
But knights are not long range. They are short range. They can jump over the pieces. That's why they should always be in the center.
Okay.
So now this knight blunder
Gone.
first.
Gone.
So now your bishop is under attack. Why to move your bishop? You can even play king g2, because when you capture your bishop, you are fixing your pawn structure.
Okay.
Small small things you can
Okay.
remember.
And even then, this pawn cover is there, like shield, like a shield, no?
Yeah, yeah, but right now you don't have a shield. It is broken by these double pawns.
Just double pawn. Instead, I could have. Okay.
So what you can do, you can move your king so that you allowed him this capture. Then you capture with this pawn, and now these three pawns will act as a defense for your king.
Even this knight could have captured. Of course, this was a double pawn which we cleared.
Yes,
But
knight capture is
capturing
also
this,
good, but then you will lose this pawn also.
yeah. So better to capture with the pawn. Yeah. Okay.
Right now, you have an option of capturing with this pawn or this pawn, right?
Yeah.
Tell me which one is better and why.
D. D3 is better.
But you capture with b3.
D3. D for Delhi. D3.
No, but you in the
But
game you captured with b pawn. Why it is not better? If d3 is better, then why b3 is not better?
D3, because I have a rook on B, I thought okay. But then it is defended by the pawn, the rook. B file is well protected, like,
B file is well protected, and also if you capture with B pawn, this pawn is becoming a passed pawn.
yeah.
Here your pawn on B3 is blocking this pawn,
Yes.
and now you are
If I
inviting
had
him.
captured, if I had captured with this D
Then everything is blocked,
blocked.
and then you can play rook D1, this half open file.
Yes.
Then maybe this knight can go to G3, and if this knight capture, then maybe this pawn can capture or even bishop can capture.
Bishop. Okay.
And you can develop your rook on d5 because you have a dark square bishop, so one rook on this light square d5 other rook on light square d1, attack this pawn with two rooks.
Mm-hmm.
These kind of blockade you can use so that he cannot push this pawn.
Okay. And the
Because
pawns which are not blocked, I can attack that.
yes, because if you capture with this pawn is becoming passed pawn, and it will be very difficult for you to block this. He can
Yeah,
just double
till the
up.
end, that played a very important role, no?
Yes.
I shouldn't have done this. Yeah.
So these are the small positional idea that you can remember.
Mm.
Okay, still it's okay. Still, this game should be at least draw like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
No,
6, 7.
see, here also I did a blunder, no? I had nicely planned I captured with that pawn. Then I don't know what happened. I captured with the bishop. See, okay, my move
Yeah,
here was to
no, no
attack.
problem. Capturing with the bishop is also totally fine.
I should have captured with my f2, no?
If you capture with f2, this bishop is going back. This bishop is blocked.
Acha. Oh,
This bishop is active. This bishop is passive. So it's better if you just exchange that.
okay, okay.
You should
Acha.
always exchange your passive pieces with your opponent active pieces.
Active pieces.
So these
Okay,
two are very active pieces. These two are passive pieces. If he is capturing these two pieces, it's good for you.
okay.
Why this move? Rook b2.
I wanted to come to h2.
Then you can play first king g1 and come this way.
So the rooks are connected. Huh?
Because you are playing d2, you are disconnecting your rooks on your own.
Hmm.
So you should not break principle no matter what is the situation.
Okay.
It will create so many problems.
So I could have just moved my king to g2.
Yeah, move your king to
Or
g2. This
even
file is open for you.
f2 also was okay. And then come here.
Yes, how he will defend this one. So for example, if he try to come near this, no problem. Again bring. And he will come there, no problem. Double up your rook.
Okay.
Now he has to bring the other rook into the defense. Now,
Okay.
now even you can play g4. Can you tell me the idea of g4?
G4. He will capture h5.
Then
H5. Then that rook, king can't capture. The rook will capture h5 and I capture the rook. But the king cannot capture because I have the other rook on h. So one rook
now it is
gone.
black to move.
Okay.
So if black capture this pawn, this rook is defended only once.
Yes.
You are attacking this twice. You can simply capture the rook.
Okay.
If this rook captures, you are capturing two rooks in exchange of one. You are a whole
One.
rook up. Game over.
Okay.
Now if this pawn capture your pawn, you capture with your king.
Okay.
If you start push this pawn, you bring your rook on b5. If you keep
Okay. So I capture this and give check from here. Okay.
before giving check, you should eliminate all these pawns.
All these pawns. Okay.
So now if you try to go other side, attack on a5 pawn first.
Okay.
Try to come, capture this pawn. Then he will try to more closer, bring your rook on b5. defended by this pawn. Now this rook
Okay.
will be creating a wall on b5.
Okay.
No need
And the
to do
idea
any
about B, why did you bring this to B?
this rook.
Yeah.
Now you will see. So for example, if king plays this, you will play a5. It doesn't matter what king does, you will play a6. He will just keep moving there because this rook is controlling the b file and this king cannot stop this pawn.
Okay, okay.
This is the idea of rook on b5.
Oh, this I should practice. Okay, okay.
This rook is creating a kind of Lakshman Rekha. This king cannot cross.
Jump cross. Correct.
And this rook,
And
this pawn on a5 become unstoppable.
yeah,
So
okay.
this also you can make use.
And the pawn on B, I could have attacked, like I could have exchanged, gone up, and then exchange this. This also,
You wanted to come on h file, then why did you come on g file after this?
the same thing, no? The king will move to H6.
No, then what is the idea behind rook s2?
No, my guess is next move will be king G2. And then I bring my A1 to H1.
No, what about this rook? What this rook is doing on g2?
That will go to H2.
Then
So I could
why
have
he?
moved it to H2 only. Why I moved
Yes,
to G2?
yes.
Yes.
If you
No, my
straight away,
idea now what is happening is the king is on G file, right? So I was thinking I will move my G3 pawn,
and
okay,
then
and then capture that pawn, and then it can't, then it's a check.
no, that is a too imaginary plan.
Too much man. Thinking the opponent is ढीला ढीला करता है.
You
Okay.
should look at immediate plans that you can do. So immediate plan is h5 on h file. This pawn is undefended.
Yes.
Your whole
Strictly
imagination
very
and
good.
target should be attacking on this pawn. That's all. Nothing
Yes.
else.
Okay.
Just bring both the rook on h file. This rook also on h file. Attack this pawn.
Yes.
If this pawn would not have been there, then you can see what you can do. So you should see what immediate things you can do and then think of all other plans.
Okay.
And whenever you see any piece, any pawn, anything undefended, don't take time. Just straight away go and attack that particular piece.
Attack. Yes.
Because if you take time, your opponent will take time to defend that.
Hmm.
So now the rook came and now that pawn is defended on h5.
Yeah.
And now king also defending that pawn. So you were saying
Again
other
king.
rook will come on h1. The other rook also came on g1.
So came to G. No, that's what I'm telling. No, because the king is on G5. I am looking at the king only, and I'm thinking I'll just move my pawn there to G3. The G3 will go forward, and then
Yeah, so putting your king on the same file does
capture
not.
that. So my imagination was all over imagination.
So this, putting the rook on the same file as the king may not work in the end game because king has too many square to go.
Yeah,
These work in the middle game or in the
okay.
opening. In the end game, you cannot do anything by putting your king on the same file. This king is have whole board to just run away.
Mm,
So in the end game, you should always try to capture the pawns and the piece
okay.
because you cannot checkmate the opponent king so easily in the end game because there are not many pieces to block him.
Yes.
So in the
If
opening
I
we
had
have
moved to H2, no, it would have been like before the rook came on H. Opponent's rook
yes,
came on H. Would have been a better game, like, and this B pawn also I would have can captured. Would have been a bit
Yes.
easier for me. Okay,
So there are different principles for opening, middle game, and end game. End game, there are different principles that you should use.
okay,
So, and those are nothing so different. A very simple and easy thing. Like when you have a pawn in the end game, always try to block so that they don't become queen and try to attack them. That's all. And then when you have more material, then you can make one of pawn queen, or if you're not able to make, use your two rooks or one rook to checkmate. But before that, you have to eliminate these two rooks and these pawns. And when you have two rooks, always try to attack the pawns. Like this pawn is isolated, so this can be one target. And these three pawns on the back rank, they are back rank pawns. You can attack them from the behind.
okay.
So these should be your target. These four pawns.
Mm. I could have come to the eighth rank and then attack like back
Yeah.
rank this. Okay.
Like in the even in the movies also, you see when there is a war taking place, sometimes some smart king, they ask one group of soldiers to go into behind their opponent force so that they are not aware, and when their opponent force is attacking from the front, they will attack from the behind also.
So something
So
like that I should do.
yes.
Okay.
So in the end game, attack from the front is also good, but you can attack from the behind also.
Yes.
Why you are moving your king again and again?
I don't want that king to come near mine.
So this king is not coming. You stay on the e3, and if you don't want this king to come, you can even play anything. Like you have so many moves, you can even simply play this. Look as to if this king comes there, you can give check. This king has
Oh,
to go back.
this I could have. This I should have done. Mm.
And when this king goes back, you can even push this g4,
Okay.
because when this pawn captures, he's losing the rook. Can you tell me how he will lose the rook?
This was very fast. What we did was so fast. Okay, that
Now,
pawn captured this.
so now you have to calculate that now you can play g4, and now I am saying if this black capture your pawn, he is losing the rook. Can you calculate and tell me how?
Uh, how he will lose the rook?
If he capture your pawn on g4, then he's losing his rook. You have to calculate 2 3 moves.
Just this. I give check.
How?
H. Rook on H4 captures pawn
Okay,
on 4. G4.
then
Your question and my answer are two different things. You asked it will lose its rook. How
yeah,
it
but
will.
may not be in the next move, but you have to tell me the full variation. After you capture on g4 with your h rook, the king is under check. Where the king will go?
Now that pawn is on G4. and G1 to H1. So it cannot capture. The king will have to go to F. Then I capture the rook. So if the pawn captures on G4,
Okay.
I move my G1 to H1, rook to H1.
Then the rook will capture your rook.
Now I my rook, and I capture my rook. Yes. Now it will come. Mm,
So now you have to calculate if this h5 pawn capture on g4, how you can win his rook. It's only two
and
moves.
G1, rook on G1 captures G4.
Okay, then.
Check. It's a check. So the king moves to F5, F6.
Okay.
Then I capture that rook on H6.
Yes. So now if this
Yes.
pawn captures, you will capture with this
Yeah.
rook.
Okay, okay.
Now the
Yes.
king
In
has
this
to
move,
go away,
yeah, now I move the H rook, capture
and no
the
one
rook.
is protecting the rook.
And comes with a check.
And this is the reason we always say rook should be connected.
Yes.
So now he
Now
is
my
losing a
rooks
rook.
are connected and these are much stronger than the opponents.
Yes.
So now where the king will go to?
Now the wherever he goes, you have two rooks, you can easily convert.
Convert. Yes. Like this I should have played. Oh, great.
Now,
Now all these calculations, how do I improve all this? Like now when you are teaching me, I am able to
next
at
game you
least
try to use. That's all. We are working on them.
that's all. When the next opponent is playing some other rhythm.
So now he pushed this pawn, right?
Yes.
So now no need to do anything on this side. This side everything is blocked. You need to worry about this pawn because on b4 this pawn was defended by these two, right?
Yes.
Now there is no one to defend this.
Yeah.
So why not attack that straight away?
He'll move that rook from G.
Yeah, he moved this rook. I will move other rolls. Now,
Okay. Now if I capture,
no, now it is
rook
black to move.
capture.
How will you defend this pawn?
If I capture, he will capture my rook.
No, it is black to move. We are calculating how he can defend this pawn. Can he do
He can't.
or so now he may take one more move to bring his rook, but it is too late. You will simply capture the pawn.
Yes. Yes.
If you capture your rook, no problem. You win a pawn.
Also. Yes.
And now if
Okay.
he try to push this pawn, no problem. Capture this pawn also.
Yes, sir.
Now he will capture with his rook. Now you need to be careful of this check because your rook may get lost.
Yeah.
So now you
Okay.
can play as I was saying, these pawns should be attacked. These are alone pawn, far behind. These
Yeah.
are the weakest pawns. So you can go rook b6, attack this pawn.
Okay.
So tell me how will you defend this pawn?
No. Then again with that rook, he will come to H6.
Now I will attack your other pawn. How will you defend two pawns now?
This one. Yeah. So now this I can attack. Or
And
he will come and give me check.
okay, give you. I'll go to just e2 now.
So, I'll capture that 5, a5.
No,
I'll
no, it is
capture
black
it.
to move.
Black to move. Again, he may give check.
Okay, I'll go F F3 now.
Now I'll capture that pawn on 5, a5.
It is black to move.
Oh, acha, I'm playing is black. Okay. Because if I move that pawn, there are this also gone. Then I can move this. Okay. So dancing with this is not appropriate. So I'll move my d6 to 5.
I'll
If it is
capture with this
blunder,
pawn.
blunder, no, not exactly. So I'll come to
I'll capture this
c4,
pawn.
c3.
I'll bring my rook on c5.
Rook, I will come to c2.
Thank you so much. You are blocking your own pawn. I'll push this one.
But then, how do I protect this? With my king? Okay. I bring my king to e3.
I'll play
Oh, no, no,
a6.
no. I'm playing black where I'm doing what I'm doing. Oh my god. Suddenly I. Then it will come and give me check. What I will do? Come there. Capture. Yeah. Go there. A2 if I go. Then coming with a check. Okay, then. A2. Rook A2.
I'll
Gone. That
play
pawn gone. Capture that pawn and
king
give check.
e3.
Three. I can't capture that. Capture this. C2.
I will play king d2.
A1. Rook A1.
a1. I will capture this pawn.
See this position. Um, I should have moved my pawn to C1. Check. It comes with the check.
Yes, I will capture your queen.
And also it's gone. Oh. So either way it is a loss. How do
Yes,
I
whatever
save
you
this?
do, the white can capture this pawn.
Okay. So you made your king active, like the end game, no? The king plays
Yes,
a,
this king is totally out of the game. My king and my rook, they are helping each other.
they are helping each other. Yes, and that pawn is also blocked, no e5. It's not able to come out.
Yes,
Can't capture also. It should, the king can, okay. King g6, g to f6.
I will push this pawn.
Oh, how do I capture this? Capture this. King e7. No, I can't go to e7, e6. Only to e6. No, that also I can't come. Yeah. Oh, this pawns playing
How
important
these two
roles.
pawns are controlling this.
These two. Yes. Okay. I can't come here and attack also. So I'm here if I can. What do I do now? Okay, king on f7.
I will capture this pawn also.
Array, array. Yeah.
See
King on
how,
f.
see how the pieces are coordinated. These two pawns are defending each other. This pawn
Hmm.
is defended by this rook now because of this wall. This pawn is defended by this rook. This pawn is blocked by this king.
Yeah.
And see, this king and this rook, they don't know each other.
Mhm. Yeah, they are disconnected. Like
They
king
don't.
f. Yeah.
Yes,
Tell
tell me.
me.
King
King
f8,
on f6.
f6. I will play d7.
I'll capture your
I will bring the queen.
the queen. Yes.
So this is how in the end game you can play.
Play. Okay. Okay. This game, two things I learned, like you can attack from behind also. The rook could have gone piche and it could have gone that way. And exchange of rooks and come straight to h5 I should have come. Thinking the opponent is a bit weak. Never underestimate the opponent.
Yes.
Mm,
So now this rook is not only giving you check, he is also attacking your rook.
yes.
So why
But
not simply
if
capture it? Because
okay.
if you're moving away, then who is defending your rook?
So better एक ले लो before dying capture.
You
Okay.
have to capture, otherwise it's a blunder.
Hmm. Okay.
So now this
I'll
pawn
capture with
captures, you capture.
captures. Oh, and this also, this queen also I can b b2 also I can capture now.
Yes. Now he will try to capture this pawn. You capture this pawn also.
Okay.
He will try
Yeah,
to
this
attack
is
this
one.
pawn. Now you
Okay.
can see what you can do. Like maybe you can defend this pawn first. So still it is
Okay.
difficult because your opponent has 4 pawns, you have 3, but
Yeah.
still it can be
No,
attempted to.
when to capture, when to exchange, and all such calculations. No. Oh my
Yeah,
God,
they'll come with practice.
it's really terrible for me. Okay. Yeah, वापस.
And over. Okay. So now we will, what we will,
Yeah. Right to play. Right to
so
play.
now you think I'll come back in 2 minutes. I'll just go and take
Yeah, yeah.
the water.
No problem. Okay. giving is that first is this capture this captures
Yes. So did you find the answer?
I'm looking at two things. One is the check giving moves.
Yes.
So I could find only one.
And find only one. Okay, tell me the.
Queen, queen on f8.
Okay, then.
This one, the rook capture f8.
Yes.
And I have my other rook on f1.
Yes.
Go there and give check. The king can't go anywhere.
So it will be checkmate or what?
So queen on f8 to capture f8. Rook. It's a checkmate.
Yes.
Seventh rank. It doesn't have place to go. Yeah.
So this is the move. Rook captures and rook capture back rank.
Right. Back rank. Actually, I read the title, no, so I'm thinking only about back rank. Okay.
Now think without the title, next position.
Yeah.
So there are only 1000 puzzles. We have to finish all of them.
Yes. 192. King G1, Queen B7, Rook on A1, F1, Bishop C1, Knight B3, 1, 2, 3, 5 pawns on A2, B2, F2, G2, H2. Now black. King on G8, Queen on F5, two rooks on A8 and D8, Bishop on C5, Knight on F6, pawn on A7, E4, F7, G7, H7.
Black to play.
Okay. Black to play.
Very important pattern. Very, very important.
There is a pawn on white pawn on C4.
Okay, it will not change anything, but we will put it
Okay. Leave it then.
now.
Yeah.
So this pattern is like one of the very important pattern, and it will be useful in many attacks. So think. Very good puzzle.
is black to play.
Yes, it
Right.
is.
The first vision of the board I got is bishop is attacking f2, the queen is attacking f2. Now bring one more attacker. Knight g4. What happens if knight comes to g4? Can we capture this? Capture this. The queen.
No, wait. Before knight g4, is knight g4 a check giving move?
G.
You're thinking of knight g4, right?
Now this whole position, no, I'm just thinking bishop is attacking f2, the queen is attacking f2. So bring one more attacker.
No, that
So
is
I'm
totally
thinking about knight g4.
that is totally fine. But what is CCT?
What is?
CCT that we use.
Hmm.
In CCT, the first C is check, right?
Yeah.
And the last T is threat.
Yes.
So this knight g4, you are threatening capture on f4 with bishop, with queen, and with knight, right?
Hmm.
So you are starting in a reverse way.
Okay.
You are starting with T. You have to start with C.
Okay.
First check all the check giving moves, then come to only captures, and then think of these threat.
Check giving moves. There are one, two. Two check giving moves. Bishop captures f2. Check. Knight captures e. There are two check giving moves. Hello.
Yes, tell me.
Is bishop capture f2? Check. Then that knight will capture f2. Knight la rook. Rook captures f2.
Yeah, then
My queen. Come on, I have to move my queen. Otherwise, my queen on queen captures and king captures. Okay. If I want to block this, supposing E is happening is, so I'm losing both my bishop and queen.
so now which check you were calculating? Bishop capture on f2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, after bishop capture on f2, then
Rook capture f2.
okay, then
Then if if my queen cannot capture because that king can capture. No?
Yeah, yeah. So then,
So can make use of that pawn on e4.
you have to think of check giving moves.
Okay.
Apart from queen capture on f2, do you have any other check giving moves or not?
I guess.
And we are thinking bishop capture on f2, rook capture on f2. Now you are saying queen capture on f2, the king will capture your queen, right?
Yeah.
So apart from this, do you have any other check?
Similarly, if my queen captures also the same problem. So these are the only
No,
two
no.
checks.
Wait. That we will check in the second round.
Okay.
First, we are thinking about this only, that bishop capture on f2, rook capture on f2, and now you don't want to capture with your queen because the king will capture your queen.
Yes.
Now we are thinking, if you don't want to do this move, do you have any other check giving moves or not? If you don't see that move, then it will be very difficult for you to find the answer.
D. I have a rook on D. So I'll bring that rook to D1.
Yes, then,
Check.
yes, then,
So when my rook to D1, where it can go? The king cannot go anywhere. Bishop captures F2, captures F2. Then I bring my rook on from D8 to D1. Check. So again this rook will come to F1.
then,
Then I can straight away capture with my queen.
then,
Because this F file is open now. So I come to F. I can capture this F1. No, it can't from the queen. Queen captures F1.
then,
Where the king cannot go, where the king can go. It can't be on the first rank. It can't come there. Checkmate.
okay. So if bishop capture on f2, and if rook capture on f2, then it is resulting into checkmate, right?
Yes.
So suppose if white doesn't play rook capture on f2, white plays king h1, then
King plays H.
white got to know your intentions. So he did not play rook capture on f2.
Okay.
He played king h1, just moving away from the check.
Oh,
Now,
what should I do? If I move my bishop, that rook can capture with the queen.
no, but I did not get after king h1 then.
Since my bishop is on F2,
Yes.
if I move my bishop to say anywhere back to D.
Yes.
And the rook will capture my queen.
If he capture your rook, then white will lose the game straight away. Can you tell me how?
Hmm. Again, I bring my rook to D, no? D1.
Then,
Again, this rook comes to F1.
then,
I capture F1. D from D1 to F1. Check.
then,
The king is on H1.
yes.
Again, it's losing.
So,
Yeah.
so if you move your bishop anywhere, he will not capture your queen.
Okay.
He will play bishop d2,
Okay.
just connecting his rook, blocking your rook from d5.
Yes.
So, if you play bishop capture on f2, he will not capture with rook, otherwise it is a checkmate. So he will just save. He will go to king h1, and then there is no way.
Yes.
So it means this first check is not working.
Yes.
Now think over the second check.
Hey, where is it there? Here. Not working. Okay. Okay. Mm. Similarly, with the queen, also the same thing. No?
We have not calculated that.
Okay.
So tell me,
Queen. Okay. Queen F2 check.
okay,
Rook captures F2.
okay,
D. D. Oh. Then I bring my rook to D1
then,
because my bishop is on C5.
okay,
If he comes, let's attack with that bishop. So what it will do? 1 second. Queen, Queen F2. Okay. Rook captures F2. Then I bring my rook to D1 to D1. Yeah, to D1 check. So, so this will work. Queen F2. Queen captures F2.
after rook d1 check, then what will happen?
See, after rook D1, the rook can't block this because the bishop is there on C5.
Okay,
And the king can't go to H, that first rank, no, because I have my D1 rook.
yes. So the if after queen capture on f2, if rook capture, then it is checkmate, right?
Yes,
So suppose again he saw your intentions and again he did not capture and he went to king h1. Then
to H1. Well and good for me. I'll capture that rook, F1.
then
If he doesn't capture me, I'll capture the rook, no? F1, and it's a check. H1. The king is on H1.
Then
Checkmate.
yes. So which check is working in both case? It doesn't matter white capture with rook or doesn't.
The queen. Queen move is working.
Yes. So now we will
Okay.
see everything. So for example, you have two checks, right?
Yeah.
So now before thinking of any other move that you are thinking, we have to calculate the checks.
Okay.
So bishop capture on f2. Now the white has two options. Always look for all the available option for your opponent.
Okay.
So now either rook capture or either king move to h1, right?
Yes.
If rook captures, then this check also you should see.
Yes.
So this rook comes on d1, and now the king cannot go anywhere on first rank. He has to block with his rook.
Yes.
But now either you can capture with your rook or capture with your rook or queen. It doesn't matter. It will be checkmate.
Yes. Both ways.
Yes. But the main thing is if it doesn't capture, if you go h1,
Yeah.
now this bishop cannot capture this.
Yes.
So now you may think that you will go back and this rook will capture your queen.
Yeah.
This is not working because now there is no one to protect the first rank. This rook will jump.
Yes. Yes. And
Now
doesn't
he
have
has to
place
block
to.
with his rook. You will capture his rook and checkmate.
Yes.
This is called taking advantage of back rank weaknesses.
Okay.
So now after this, he will not fall. He will not capture your queen. He will simply play queen d2. This bishop d2. Now this bishop is protected by his knight. This bishop is blocking your rook. These two rooks are connected now.
Yeah.
Now there is no more
Mm.
weakness.
Okay.
So this king h1 saving the checkmate. So now you will check the
Okay.
second check.
Yeah.
Now again white has two options, either capture your queen, either go to h1.
Okay.
If it go to h1, this is a queen, not bishop. You can simply capture the rook.
Yes. Simply capture. Yes.
Game over, checkmate.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't capture, if it doesn't go h1, if he capture, then the similar idea like bishop will work.
Yeah.
Now this bishop rook is pinned, and this rook does not, king does not have anywhere to move on first.
Yeah.
This is one of the important pattern to remember.
Yes. And first thing is the check giving us. I was thinking about that pawn on e4 also. See, there's a pawn on e4,
You have to think in
and there was a
CCT.
queen there. So I was thinking about first is CCT mode only. We should check. Internet is unstable.
You can hear me, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, next position.
So always think in CCT only. That's all.
Even if in some position you can capture the opponent queen, you should not capture straight away.
Okay.
Always wait and think, do you have a checkmate with check giving moves or not? And if you doesn't have, then you go for the queen captures.
Okay. So at any position, like especially in the middle game or towards the end also, always think like CCT mode only, no?
Yes.
Like the recent ones which we analyzed also. If I thought about CCT also, I could have done something about it.
Yes.
Okay. Next is 93. King G1, Queen C5, Rook E1, two knights, A7, D4, three pawns, A2, G2, H2. Black king on G8, queen on F4, There's a bishop on e6. There's a rook on b2. One, two, three, four, 4 pawns. One is on d5, f7, g7, h7.
There is a knight on
One,
b4, right? White knight.
yeah, there is a white knight on d4. Yes,
B4 or b4?
D for Delhi.
And the pawn?
Pawn is on d5.
D5,
There's a
okay.
black pawn on d5. 1 second, let me check. There's another pawn on f7, black.
F7, right?
Yeah, let it be like this. I'll check with this only. There is a pawn on a6, black. a6. Queen, queen, two.
White to move.
Yes, white to move.
Okay, check it once more if everything is fine.
3, 2, 3. Yes, white to play. To play. Check queen moves. Queen. Knight. The queen can give check. Queen from c8. Only one check giving move.
You- There is how many check you moves?
It's only one.
No, there is one more.
This one cannot give check. It's right to play, right?
Right.
Wait. Where it is? Only one I can see. Only one. Another one. Only the queen to c8 and the queen to f8.
Yes, these are the two checks.
Yes.
Now calculate one by one.
The queen to c8. Bishop will capture. Queen to, after it captures, what?
Again, you have to start CCT. After one move, again CCT.
Yeah, I'm queen to c8. Bishop captures c8. The knight captures c8, but it's not a check now.
Yes. After bishop capture on c8, you should look for check giving moves, continuous check.
Okay. Oh, then I have my rook on e1. So I can move my rook e8, check.
Okay.
Queen c8, bishop captures c8, rook to e8, check, checkmate.
Yes. So in this, basically you have to observe like the black king on g8 is blocked by his own pawns.
Yes,
So you have to look for back rank weaknesses. So this is, it means the opponent king back rank is weak, right?
yes,
Suppose if there is no bishop on e6, then the queen c8 will be checkmate, right?
yes,
And even if there is no bishop on e6, even rook e8 will be checkmate.
yes,
So rook c8 move, you are forcing this bishop to move away from this e5.
yes.
And whenever it moves, then your rook will go to e8. Take the advantage of back rank weaknesses.
Back rank. Okay.
Okay, now before moving on to next puzzle, suppose if in the same situation it is black to play, then what will you do?
Mm, Black. What was your question?
If in the same situation it is black to play,
It's black to play. Okay. Mm, but then this will, there are a few options. One, first checkmate is with my rook to g2, but the king will capture. What comes here? Queen f2. Queen f2 check.
then keep going.
And king, it can't capture because I have a rook on the second rank, b2. So it will run to h1 and capture this e2 and check. Yes. Queen on f2 check. Okay. This can't capture. This can't come to the f5. So it goes to h. The queen captures e1. Check. Checkmate.
And apart from capturing on e1, can you do something else also?
Mm, capture E1. We will capture this G2 I can capture.
Yes.
This also
So
can be done because rook on second, no?
yes.
Wide range, no? Like,
Yes, so in this position, there are few important pattern that for black, this you always need to see that whenever you have a rook on second or seventh rank, if you're queen, you can first give check, and the king cannot come in front of the your queen. It has to go away,
yes,
and then you can capture on g2 and checkmate, supported by your rook.
yeah,
And this is also very nice idea that first you observe there is a back rank weaknesses. Only this bishop is blocking the checkmate, both from queen and from rook.
yes,
So you force this bishop to move away, and there is only one way to force. When you give check at the same time, attack the bishop.
yes.
So now the king cannot move. He has to capture your queen,
Yeah.
and now your rook
No,
goes to.
my rook comes. Yes.
So this was
Taking
puzzle.
queen and rook to safety, no, always most powerful. Like,
So this was puzzle number two, right?
yeah, 92.
And